Welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you the basics of Metaballs in Blender. Not meatballs, Metaballs. There are many ways on how to make bugs or animals. One way is going into edit mode and doing some simple extruding, scaling, loop cutting, scaling that loop cut, duplicating. I can move my cursor and I can import some objects into this mesh. For example, the antenna, I could extrude that out and duplicate it onto the other side. But that takes a while to do. There is another way, so let me delete this. I'm going to show you. If we do Shift A, if we come down you can see Metaball. Here there are 5 options of Metaball. If we start off with the ball, if we import that, you can see that it's just like a normal object. If we look around it, you can press G to move it, you can R to rotate, S to scale. So what's so different about it? Well, if we duplicate and we move it here, look, you can see that it's merged. If we add a capsule, here you can see that it's a different shape, it's longer. Same with the plane, we can bring it up, we can scale it on separate axes, for example the Z axis, and this will make it thinner, as you can see, and if we move it, it will merge it. On the side here we can see the Metaball properties. Here we can up or lower the resolution, and you can see that it's affecting all of the Metaballs connected, not just that singular Metaball. If we select it, we can see that it's all joined to the original Metaball. However, when we move it, it only moves that one Metaball. Over on the side here, resolution viewport mode changes the resolution that we see here in the viewport, and render mode changes what we see when we render the image, so we can have it lower res on the viewport and higher on the render mode. Here if we go into viewport shading and we add a texture to it, if we make this blue, we can see that it's colouring all of the Metaballs. However, if we take, for example, the capsule and we change the name of it to capsule, what will that do? It's not merged to any of the other Metaballs. Also, its colour has changed. If we move it, we can see that it's intersecting with the other Metaballs, it's not merging. If we change the colour to yellow, look, it's different to the blue. So it's a completely different Metaball. Here if we add some Metaballs and let's make a worm, if we move this to the side here, we can scale this and then we can duplicate it and look, it's merging. The closer we move it, the more it will merge. Sped up now, you can see that I'm duplicating and moving and scaling. Now I'm going to scale this down to make an antenna. I'm going to move this to the side and duplicate it on the other side. Now I'm going to add an eye. I'm going to scale it down. Now I'm going to push it in. One way of making an eye is changing the name so that it doesn't merge. Now we can push this in, and there we have an eye, and we can duplicate that on the other side. However, another way is if you go into edit mode, and you go over to the edit tab, here we can change this to a different shape. We can change the stiffness, the radius, and we can hide it if we want. However, the one we want is negative. If you click that, you can see that it's going to take away instead of add. So if we scale this in and we move it in, look, you can see that it's taking away from the other Metaballs. So if we scale this and duplicate it on the other side, it might be a good idea to up the res. So I'm going to go do that. to 0.5. Do the same on render. I'm going to make these separate, the antenna, so I'm going to name that antenna. I'm going to do the same here, and as you can see, if you name them both antenna, they will both merge. If I pull this out, it'll look better. So because they're both named antenna, they'll both merge together. So if I give the worm a different color, let's say a beigey color, and I give the antenna an orangey color, look, you can see that they're separate. I'm going to change the res a bit. Now if I move the camera, you can do this by hitting the shift and accent grave key. I'm going to move this to where I want it. There we go. I'm going to add a point light. I'm going to move this here. I'm going to change that to a sunlight. And I'm going to put the strength down to 1. I'm going to angle it by pressing R twice. There we go. Now I'm going to render out the image. There we go. Here's our final image. Here, if you want to save it, you can go to Image, Save As, and save it wherever you want. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.